Happy Monday, everyone. I'm about 48 hours home from Costa Rica and I'm in a slight depression. So let's put that aside for a second and see how we finished up this year. So these are the December stats for 2023. So here's our 6-month comparison, and what we see is kind of seasonal changes in sales volume, right? So we're down 22% in sales over November. That's more or less seasonal. That's not a very strong December, but again, we see fewer sales in December because everyone goes away. Some to Costa Rica. Active listings were down even more than we are on sales, so that's great news. Now, it's probably a combination of some homes were sold and some came off the market because December is historically about 4% of the calendar year for sales, historically. So, you know, not a huge month. Months of inventory, we're at 3.3 months of staying inventory. A month ago, we were at 3.8, so that's pointing in the right direction. And prices are kind of more or less stable over the last couple of months. So there's your 6-month comparison, you know, kind of what you'd expect of relatively slow December. Moving on, what we have here is December of 2023 versus of 2022. And so interestingly enough, we're up slightly on sales volume, up 7.6%, and active listings were also up a little bit by 3%. So when you look at, you know, 7.6% more sales, 3% more inventory, what you end up with is the first time we've seen this arrow pointing down, which is a reduction in the months of standing inventory. I wouldn't take it too seriously yet, but it is a good sign that we're having fewer months of inventory being recorded. I wouldn't take it too seriously because, again, it's December, 4% of the calendar year sales typically. Moving on. What we have here is just a price comparison, and it's interesting to kind of tease out single family homes versus townhomes versus apartments to see what's going on in those like micro markets. We can do it even further if we're ever over at your place doing an appraisal because we look at what's happening in your particular neighborhood, which is also quite fascinating. So single family homes, we're seeing a price increase of about 3.3%. Versus last year, so $761 average sale price. Townhomes $515 versus $537 a year ago, so a slight decrease in the average townhome sale. Same with apartments, $454 versus $459. So, you know, there's the breakdown of how prices look. Now, interestingly enough, we've got almost 4 months of staying inventory on single family homes, 2.4 on townhomes, apartments at 4.2. So it would suggest that, you know, in Ottawa, that kind of center of the bell curve, which is a townhome in our city at 500,000-ish, really doesn't have that much inventory, right? So we'd expect those prices to rebound as the market strengthens, because that's not a whole lot of inventory. Moving on, last slide for today is we're just looking at kind of average sale price year to date, 2023 versus 2022. So, you know, at the end of this year, we've got 818 as a single family home price. That's down 5.5% for the year over last year, which was 863. Townhomes down 7.6 at 544. Apartments down 2.6 at 440. That's a lot of red on this slide, but we know that, you know, we came through this crazy 2021. Some of those prices held into 2022, and certainly 2023 has been a more balanced, soft year. So if you look at total sales volume, 11,978 this year, 13,465 in 2022, so an 11% reduction. So not the strongest year we've ever had in 2023. The predictions out there right now are that interest rates will, you know, stabilize and then start to probably come down in the latter half of the year. And the sense is that prices will rebound quite sharply when that happens. There's a lot of people sitting on the sidelines, and there is a real true crisis in the number of units available relative to the population growth we're seeing. So my sense is now's a really good time to buy because things are going to get spicy once there's some consumer confidence in the direction of interest rates. So I think there's a window right now, and I don't think it's that long. Just one guy's opinion, and we'll see what January brings us. So all the best, and Happy New Year to you all.